Hariom Saravananji.
Hariom Ji.
Let us today chant mamaivamso and contemplate on that. Please help us with the chanting and the meaning.
Yeah, sure. Mamaivamso jivaloke jivabhutah sanatanah manahsasthanindriyani prakrti sthani karsati. The living entities in this material world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the 6 senses, which include the mind.
Excellent. Thank you, Saravananji.
Thank you.
So, how do we connect to this shloka? What is that Sri Krishna is pointing us that we can take and use in our life?
The first question, when you say living entities, can I say that is it like living as in humans and plants and animals, like which considered as living through breathing, growing, or even the existing? All those exist, like trees are considered living. Let's say mountains and oceans.
So, in one sense, one of the way, if you look at to define life, to define living entity. Now, the definition, if you consider anything that changes is living, isn't it? Because it shows some sense of modification. In some cases, it may be slow. In some cases, it may be fast. You may see the plant grow faster. You may see a mountain change slowly. Nevertheless, it also changes.
Everything changes. There is nothing that is changeless in the world.
There's nothing. So if you consider that way of looking at it, then everything is living, because something in it must be bringing out that change.
Yeah, the very fact that it came out itself is like it has come with a reason.
Yeah, and it is changing. So therefore, it is life. Now the way it interacts with you as a human mind, the way it interacts with you may be different. An animal may wag its tail and come closer and lick you, whereas a plant may, just have you noticed when you are deeply in connection with the plants, as you go towards them, they gently they talk to you, they speak to you.
It's a feel.
It's a feeling.
It's a feeling.
Yeah. So it's a feeling with which you get connected to a mountain also, because every mountain, every rock is distinct. And each one of them tell a different story to you. So in that sense, they tell a story not verbally, they tell a story through the feeling it generates in you. Because only in that place, only in that context, that feeling emerges in you.
Correct.
So it's a property of that setup.
Like for Ramana, the Arunachala, waited him.
Because it's a living entity. Everything is living. And the life in it is what calls you. And the way it interacts with you may be different. So therefore, you can consider in that way. So what's your viewpoint on this shloka?
Yeah, the first line can be taken as leads to the Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, that Brahman is the only one and everything is part of it, or like is Brahman only, or like from a if you want to see from someone seeing Krishna says that like you are no different, or like you are not separate from me. You are everyone, everything is not separate from me. And it's and like the other underlying phrase is eternal. Everything is eternal, and fragmental is the name and form, I would say. Because of the name and form, it looks like fragmented, right? But it's all, I think, it's like I can say a jigsaw puzzle where everything is set, but it's one, right? We can look at like different parts of it, but so in a way we can say that the existence is not complete without even one part. The moment that one part is taken, then it's not complete, right? So that basically leads one to treat everyone equally with respect and like without any difference, because it's part of the same Krishna, right? And then like it is just that like one part of it may look different. That doesn't mean like you can treat differently, right? And the confusion is the next one, the conditioned life, which conditioned life, which like where we are using the six senses in the mind. And obviously, if everything is straightforward, we will see directly. And I guess that's where the Maya comes into play, where it's it looks like a play that, hey, everything, if I just tell you and there is no fun, but like I'll show you something which looks different from outside, but if you can see through it, you see the real thing, right? And I guess maybe it's a small play. It's a play of Brahman or play of Krishna that we are going through this.
Excellent.
I always this thing brings to me that the puzzle, like where there is a picture in which it is done in a way that there is a thing that is not easily visible, and you see that picture, but you cannot see that thing, and like and those who can see it, they cannot miss it. Okay, so I always feel that way, that we are looking at the same thing, but between Jnani and Ajnani, the Jnani has seen it, so he cannot miss it, while Ajnani is still trying to figure out where is it, and Jnani says, it's there, I can see it. Maybe you have to see it from this way, then right? I'm surely you would have seen those pictures.
Correct. It needs some kind of a slight reorientation. Yeah. It's always been there, but that picture is missed.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's how I am seeing the statement.
Yeah.
The oneness and treating everyone equal, and feeling everyone feeling good itself. Like I don't have to see like maybe like he has done so and so, she has done so and so, so like they are great, but it's not that way. That everyone is the same fragment, same part, and like everyone is eternal again. That eternal thing again helps in removing that fear. The fear is one of the main things that drives a lot in life for people. lot of things are done driven by fear of so many things. Right? Yeah, it's not easy to remove that fear. It requires constant reading and like discussing to understand the reality. It can be only removed by knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Sriranji.
Thank you.
Who would like to go next? Padmaji, Shubhaji.
Yeah. So I also concur with what Saravananji said. I was thinking about eternal fragmental parts. The fragmental parts is understood. I mean, there is no doubt in that, because you are the fragmental part of the Supreme. I was thinking about the eternal. Eternal, if you see, yes, we are eternal beings, that is there, but eternal fragmental parts. Does it mean that we are also eternally fragmental in nature? Is one question that came to my mind.
Look at it.
And then he's talking about.
See, whatever material you're seeing, what is material? Material is nothing but energy. It's a kind of a form of that energy. And that energy is what is there. As you know, energy can be neither created nor be destroyed. It's the tree that appears now after some processing as paper, which after printing appears like book.
Correct.
When you throw the book away, once again gets digested back into the mud. It becomes part of the tree. So in that sense, even the things that we see are never really destroyed. So they are always constantly transforming from one form to another form. So there is no destruction in that sense. It's only, it's there. You cannot even say it's created.
Correct.
You have a sense of creation only when you see a certain form and you say, oh, I see the form. So therefore the form has come into creation. Therefore the form goes out of creation. That is what is called as destruction.
Yeah, the essence is always there.
The energy is constantly transforming. It's constantly transforming. The same water appears as ice, appears as liquid, as vapor, and comes down as rain, flows as a river, becomes the ocean. So constant transformation. There is no real destruction per se. That is the material thing. Now, as far as you are concerned, now what is your relationship to Krishna?
Yeah, so that is what I was coming to. What I thought is, he talks about the eternal fragmental parts, which is me, and then due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. That is also true because of the six senses and our conditioning and the mind essentially driving whatever we do. So that is where I think, and obviously because of the mind, the ego is creating a lot of false this thing in us, and that is why we are fragmented. Probably that is why he says that you are eternally fragmental, because of this kind of conditioning that you have. And once you get out of this conditioning, or once you are able to transcend this conditioning, then that association with him happens, is what I feel.
Excellent. So as long as the conditioning is there,
You are
then
always you are always fragmented,
yeah,
or you have that separateness from him.
yeah,
Because one more aspect that came to me is, even though you are a fragment, you are him only, right? That we understand. And also, that doesn't mean that it is being divided into many parts also.
It just appears like a part because of the narrow
because
vision.
that is clear from the second chapter itself, right? Like we have told that it cannot be cut, it cannot be done, nothing can be done to it. So so that is, sir. So that is what I would also like to say, what Saravanan said in a different way, that till we are in this conditioned thing, we ourselves have keep experiencing that separateness from him. Whereas when we overcome that, when the mind is not when the mind doesn't drive and the ego is not in play, then I think we become like his servants only. We are his servants rather, and through us a lot of things are happening.
So even there, when you use the word "we are his servants," there is still
there is a separateness. Yes, correct. So how should I say it? Like, then if we are
that is in a manner of expression.
So there are things happening through me, but it is not because of me, is the understanding that I have to it should be very clear in me. Because normally the ownership comes because we think it is because of me. Because of me something good is happening, because of me or I did this, I did that. So when that association is not there, then it's just happening. There is just a event, or that there is just a happening. I don't have anything to do with it. It's just a flow. So when the river flows, a particular molecule cannot say, no, it's flowing because of me. It's just happening automatically. So something like that.
So the claim of ownership is the one which brings the sense of doer,
individuality.
Individuality.
Like it's also there is something uniting. For example, this, as a group we are one, right? Like if you take a team, there are individuals, fragmental parts, like, but then there is this feel that when they are playing, they are one. They don't see it. They don't see the fragment. Right?
Correct.
There are fragments, but
it is visible in everything in the universe.
Yes.
Right? Whether it's living or non-living. Even if you take a car, the car is one body, but there are multiple parts in it which is functioning. Whatever they have to do, they do, and so that vehicle in totality is moving or whatever.
If you see, there is no actually a car. Right? A car is there is nothing that exists like as car. It is just that the parts.
True, but what I'm saying is that aspect is visible to you in everything that you see or experience. That is what that totality. The I think the Purnamada, that shloka, I think is very
even body. It's a collective identity made of so many parts. And if you keep on stacking these parts, like, where do you stop it? Right? Like, do I say like this body as one? No, that are also parts. Then like we can keep on grouping like this, then it becomes one. If you can take it to that. And that one has that consciousness also.
Yeah.
That
The
the
video
overall
that
one as a consciousness, right? As a team, there is a consciousness. As a car, as a full collection, there is a consciousness. The individual nut and bolt will have its own consciousness, but then like the whole put together thing also has a consciousness.
Yeah.
Universal car consciousness that it has it does it, right?
I think last time when we were talking in Tattva Bodha last week, I think this is the thing that we touched upon. Like to be able to see the universe in the smallest of thing is what is jnani. Oh, right. So that you should be able to see, and that is where the mystery for the jnani is, I think, where the universe is there in every cell or every, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Padmaji. Shubhaji?
Yeah, I agree with what Saranandi and Padmaji said. To put it in my own words, I would say that the living entity is me, and I am part of the eternal fragmented part, which is Krishna. And due to the conditioning in my life, rather, I would say I should not. Due to the conditioning, we struggle in our life because of the six senses, including the mind. And once we are aware that I am not the doer, and that pure awareness comes in, we are liberated.
Excellent. The simplest escape, no? But the one which is the most complex, because I am only the thief and I am only the police.
It's like in a car that small nut is saying like, I am the one. And like it's trying to survive. No, I am the one. While the entire car is saying like, okay, like, no, I don't know, like who's important here, the full car or that nut? But then like, they cannot be separated. Without the nut, that big car cannot function, but then the nut cannot claim the full car.
Excellent. So just want to share one small picture. Just a moment.
No, just do this. Right. So, yeah.
Is the picture visible?
No, you're still seeing the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. Just then give me a moment, please.
Ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see oceans, ship.
I can see a treasure.
Excellent.
Treasure.
Excellent. So, in order to truly see the treasure, so the only ship that has to sail away is I, doer ship. So once when that ship is not there anymore.
What? No, I didn't get. What was that about the picture and the ship?
So when this is the ship that is hiding the treasure.
Oh, hiding the treasure, you're saying. Okay.
And when that ship sails away, the treasure is there. And this ship is the non-doer. I did. Non-doer. So non-doer ship has to sail away. Then it is naturally there. See, this is the only fellow who's causing any trouble in this picture. See, rest everything is at peace. the dolphins are at peace, the water is at peace, the birds, the sky, the trees. The only fellow is the ship fellow.
I saw it differently.
Yeah, please tell.
After you, no, only after you put it like thinking. I think Saravaji also got that. I think I was like, if we want the treasure, who has to? Okay. Yeah, that's also one way to interpret. Like if we are the treasure, then the ship only has to move towards that. So our intention should be there, no, to find it. So that also is there.
Yeah. No, but what you as a pirate here, what you say, I want to go and get this treasure and then take it somewhere else. You are not okay with
No, I am okay with that. I saw the picture itself like that. Okay,
true.
like Subhaji said, I also saw the treasure. I also saw the treasure, but I connected the treasure with like if that is myself, or if that the treasure that I want is myself, then I am the one who has to go towards it. So I said, I felt that say Krishna is the treasure, then
Yeah.
I am that ship that is sailing in this samsara of that ocean.
But you are a pirate ship. You are a pirate ship. So a pirate will always be looking at piracy only. So the ship has to disappear, and naturally the treasure is there.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
So when so therefore Guruji always says, when I don't exist, what exists becomes present. It is naturally there. But this pirate ship is creating all ruckus.
Actually, the beauty in that statement is, when I don't exist, the existence is there,
becomes present.
Which I, as the mind, cannot realize it, but others around can realize and feel it, the existence, the pure existence. But it's again, yeah, it's the mind, if it can actually feel the other side as a pure existence, when that individual's mind and ego is quiet, right? So the other can feel it. Okay, and from my point of view, like, I just have to be.
But there is no otherness.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is that
So the beauty is, like, I don't know, because I'm just there. But if there is other, okay, first of all, as we discussed last time, that other itself is in my own my own thought. It's a thought. But if there is other, the other can feel it. But
I don't know.
I don't know.
So Buddha was asked, how was the world after you got enlightened?
I don't.
What do you think of the people who are suffering? I mean, I see no suffering.
This is my constant question, sir. I always think how Prabhuji will look at what I am looking at right now. Then I'll think, okay, why will Prabhuji look at what I am looking? He must be looking at something else. Because that question is there, like, what will change after the enlightenment? Like, won't you see the world itself, because it's all mithya and you're so rooted in that this is all mithya? Won't you see it at all, or will you still see it because the sense of the sense organs are still there and all those things are still there? So will you still see it, but only the way you act will be different?
Correct. That's why we saw in the Jivan Mukta, nothing externally changes. See, it's not that suddenly the body parts will change, suddenly the eyes will start functioning differently. It's not that.
No, but what you see is an expression of your thought, right? Is what I mean, it's there, right?
No. What you see, for example, what you see in this picture is what is there. It is you who
who's
has
interpreting.
you
Correct.
are the one who's interpreting. And the interpretation is what we are calling as conditioning.
So what you see is mithya, no, actually.
Mithya means what? It's a constantly changing picture. That's what mithya means. Mithya means it's like a play of light. See, you have movie theater, movie screen, light is falling, and light is the same, but because of various frequency changes, that when it strikes the screen, different pictures emerge. Yeah. So are the pictures real? No, not at all. Pictures appeared and they are disappearing. When you do not understand that it's appearing and disappearing, you get fixed to the picture and what is happening on the screen. Whereas when you know it's an appearance and disappearance, you're okay to enjoy. You're okay not to have it, because you are okay with yourself. There's nothing more that this picture can bring to you, or nothing less that happens without the picture. So neither you become more nor you become less with or without the picture. Because you are full by yourself.
Yeah, so the association, the need for association disappears.
You're not looking for validation, you're not looking for accomplishment, you're not looking for acceptance, rejection. So you know that they're like waves that appear and disappear. So let them appear, because some waves will accept you, some waves will reject you. So the very idea of an enlightenment is a mithya, because it's constantly appearing and disappearing, because it is constantly giving you a target. This is what it means to be enlightened. So it's a target. What it means to be enlightened? Define it, please. What it means to be enlightened? How do you define it? So if you define it as universal love, so now universal love, universe is infinite. Oh, so it's never possible, because there is some object that you don't know about, which may cause a sense of repulsion in your mind. Oh, then till I learn to love it, then universal love hasn't happened. So therefore, till then enlightenment hasn't happened. So therefore, the very fact it is universal love means it must already be there in you. So therefore, the question is, what is stopping me from feeling that? Who is the one who's stopping me from feeling that? So that is the unconditioning boundary that I put, that this is my family I love, that is some other who has caused a harm I don't necessarily like. So boundaries that I have created. So therefore, the one who gets enlightened can never actually get enlightened. The one who says, I have to get enlightened, will never achieve enlightenment. Look at the paradox of that statement.
Mhm.
Because the one who is saying, I want to get enlightenment, is the one who will constantly continue the existence of this false entity.
Yeah.
So therefore, Ramana says, Summanagu, Brahmanagu. Be quiet. And that's all it is. Actually, the next statement is not even there. Be quiet. Atma has no bondage, and the ego will never be free. So realize that the ego is a made-up entity. It comes and goes, comes and goes. Your roles come and go, come and go. So it's a mithya. And realize who you are. You are not coming and going. You've never been bound. You've never been captivated. You've always been that. So who has to get enlightenment now?
Yeah. This is one knowledge cannot lead to gaining in the material side. Usually all the knowledge leads to the one who got the knowledge being able to gain. Here, this knowledge basically results in loss of that identity. Okay. So I can never, I can never, I cannot say that like, oh, I'm going to gain by this knowledge. Okay, by the time that knowledge has happened, then I am gone. Either that is there or this is there. Both cannot coexist.
No, both are there. Both are coexisting in a sense that they're see what happens in a living master. So living master also functions with a sense of identity when functioning. The roles are played, but the association to the role is not there. The fixation to the role is not there.
Not there,
Uh,
yeah.
life is a play of roles.
From the Jnani's point of view, the individual is not there, right? Only then, yeah, that's what.
But while playing the role, there is a certain identity and shape that lets the role be played. But there is no one who's coming and saying I. So there is no sense of limited I-ness.
Yeah, not for the not for the benefit of the self. That
even that notion isn't there. See, it's a very simple, spontaneous. It's a simple, spontaneous, spur of the moment response. That's all. It is not a predetermined, I have to do certain things.
That also I feel it's a play of prakrti.
Yeah.
Because many times I've tried to watch myself consciously, and I've always noticed that I was conscious at time X, and then the next time I realized that I'm conscious at Y, and between that X and Y something has happened. And it has happened. It's I don't, so the way it happened is some thought came and like it completed the action and it got over. So there I feel that it's a prakrti played its part through this instrument of body. Okay, so I didn't do it, in the sense like I don't think I can never claim that like I did it. It is just that like someone from outside will say that like this body did it, but for me it just happened.
Exactly.
Spontaneous.
Because every thought has a power to manifest. And when there is no doership, you can see the play of that in lot more vividity. Otherwise, when doership is there, you are looking for a certain outcome. So you get bounded by wanting to see a certain outcome, wanting to enjoy a certain outcome. Otherwise, you can see that this entirety is a manifestation of the universal mind.
Correct. Yeah.
At this very moment, the wind is blowing, the birds are chirping, sun is shining, the electrons are flowing in the wire for this internet to work. The computer made up of so many silicon chips is working, and silicon chips are from the nothing but mud. So all of this at this very moment, the entirety is coming together here. And like you said already, even if one part is missing, it will not be complete. And it cannot be. So at any moment, everything is complete. What is happening is complete every moment. But because of the doership, because of the I-ness, because of the entity called I, that entity is looking for certain outcome and certain way it wants to see that. So that certainty is what is causing the whole problem.
Yeah, by having that expecting something, you are basically you miss that what happened.
Because that thing is also from a narrow vision.
Yeah.
It also manifests.
Yeah.
But because there are other things that happen along with it, those maybe to your liking or not liking, then that becomes a problem. I didn't want that, why that came. So in the presence of the sun, the tree grows, the plant grows, and it bears the fruit. So did the sun claim ownership? In the presence of the same sun, water evaporated and became cloud and came in as rain. When I see water evaporating, I may curse the sun. Why are you draining away water from the earth? What will the animals drink? What will all of us drink? You are such a cruel fellow. I can curse. Why? Because I see this picture, water draining away. But when I see the full picture, then everything is happening in its own natural rhythm. But that gives you, like in the case of a jnani, there is no sense of doership. So then, it is a universal mind. So anything happening in front of them is universal by nature, because there is no narrow vision of the phenomena. There is a universal vision of the phenomena. It is like, as a father of the house, when you earn and you bring, you are not thinking, this earning is only for my second daughter. You are thinking, okay, let it be how to manage it, the whole affairs of the family. So your thinking is distributed for the whole. You are not having a fragmented thinking. So same is the case with Ishvara's mind. Ishvara's mind is not a fragmented mind. Ishvara's mind is operating at the whole level. So therefore, somebody from outside your family looks at you and says that, oh, what a nice father you are, because you take care of all your family members so well. So is the case with the play of the Ishvara. So it's when you see a realized master, it is Ishvara only who is operating through that realized master. Meaning, there is no more fragmented mind. There is no fragmented me and the other. It is a universal, totality-based work. But still, it manifests in a localized manner. It manifests then and there. But the mindset is not that of a localized mindset. It is universality.
Yeah. Yeah, the local one will not be able to appreciate what is happening without the universal view.
Because the one of the child may say, no, you got a new dress for other one. You're always giving me a used one. You're not being fair. All that irritation can come in the mind of the little one. But that was never the thought process in the father's mind or the mother's mind. They only wanted to see how do we use everything that is available to the best. Never with the feeling of you are less, someone is more. But it may appear like that for that one. And why it is appearing like that? Because the father or the mother's view of the family is not yet there. So is this even a practical shloka then? What is the practical usage of this to your day-to-day life?
Yeah.
What is that Krishna is in terms of its application to you? What do you how do you apply this, the message of this shloka? Yes, Padmaji.
Yeah, so for me, I think anything that happens to me personally or to my family member, I always try to find out like what is the cause. That has been, I think that is how I used to view look at everything. Like if I'm sick, I will, okay, what is the cause of this? What did I do wrong or something like that? Or if something happened to somebody, what is the reason for this? Or maybe associating someone else with some things I'm feeling. This was my this is how I used to look at many things in my life, especially the ones that used to trouble me. It used to never be my doing, or I could never be the cause. It was always something else or someone else or something someone said, all this. And somewhere, in this, if you put it in two things like good and bad, it was always like, I am the kind of Rama and everyone else is the Ravana around me. That kind of thing was there. I think now it's all okay. No Rama, no Ravana, all is within me. And so maybe for a moment, even now, for a moment, when you are in that particular situation, yes, you tend to go towards that. But then I think the clarity comes very quickly that no, why are you trying to find it with someone else? It's all there within you. Okay, so what needs to be corrected within me? That question has started coming, or what needs to be changed within me. That is one thing. And also to accept that, okay, this is how it is in this moment, this is how it is. I don't need to associate whether it is related to past or what they did in the past, or did this thing happen before in the past to me, why again? All those questions don't come right now. Okay, this is what it is. How can I solve it? Or sometimes the question is even, do I have to solve it? That thing has come. I think, do I have to solve it is a very big change within me, because if I have to do something, that is always easier, I think. Do I have to do something is the one that is very challenging to me, because many a times the answer is always no. Do I have to do something? The inner answer is always no. So that is a little bit difficult for me in some situation even now, because it for me, like, okay, to not do something about it is a little bit challenging, because I think we always look to change it as to how we want, so, or as to how we expected it. So that is a very big change for me, to not do anything about some situation, or just see it is very difficult still. But I think I'm getting there slowly.
So one question there. So when you say not to do anything, okay? See, the very thought of, okay, let me not do anything. There's a thought of, okay, what is it I can do? Let me not do anything. So these are
no.
like
What can I do? The answer sometimes will be, there is nothing to do for you here. For example, that I am saying. I am not saying not to do anything by the sense, I don't mean inaction. I mean that, for example, say you there is one situation, or say example for my son. Okay, he has studied, he has got this many marks. Earlier it used to be like, when the marks come, it is always like, okay, can he get more, or he could have got more. Okay, and then I will put my things to him without even asking, like, okay, why did you get less, or did you do how much you prepared, you got the output or not. That won't be my question. My thing will be, okay, you should have studied this like this, or you should have written this like this. Maybe you need to focus on this part of the thing like this. Maybe do practical more, do theory more. All this would have been my thing. So now when I see his mark, I just ask one question. Okay, is this what, I mean, how much you studied? Do you feel you got that much? If he is satisfied, then there is nothing for me to do in that, right? Yes, as a parent, like you said, maybe if he comes, okay, how can I do this better, Amma? If he comes with that question, then I should, maybe I can say something, whatever that comes to my mind in that moment. But otherwise, if he's okay, if he says, yes, whatever effort I put in, I got marks like that, what else is there for me to say there? And also, there is nothing else for me to be bothered about. I don't have to keep thinking about, oh, he said like that, oh my God, how did he say like that? because I am somebody who believes that my basic belief system is there is always something to improve upon. That is my basis, which I have recognized now. But so if I keep doing, if I go and say to him, no, maybe you can improve more, then that is like my conditioning I'm transferring to him, right? Because that is my belief. He doesn't have to believe that, because I have always seen him answer like that. That has been my learning from him. Because earlier when I used to say, oh, you could have done this better, he'll say, but I got better than last time. No, I have got this concept clear. That is his thing. So it is, for him, it's not like I have to keep on improving like how my mother thinks. But for him, it's like, okay, this concept was very difficult for me. In this exam, I have surpassed that. I am able to do all the things that are related to this concept. So that clarity of concept is what he is looking at when he is evaluating himself. I go and tell him you could have done better, because I am looking at the 30 out of 50 or the 45 out of 50, then that would be my mistake, right? Because I am putting my conditioning onto him now. So that thing I have stopped. And then that is where I say that there is nothing to do. So the thoughts come, and if in a situation, okay, what to do about this situation? Most of the time the answer is don't do anything. And that is where it is a little bit difficult, because you are in the flow. So you might have a lot of urge to say this and that. But to stop that is still difficult. But I try my best nowadays. So I like, okay, I move away from there. If I have a lot of thoughts and I want to say a lot of things, I move away from there. Maybe if I come back a little bit later, then I may not have so many thoughts. Maybe 10 has come down to 5. I keep doing that. I experiment with that. Yes. And it's working, I feel. Because nowadays, sometimes I see he's surprised when I don't have anything to say. After he says, no, I got what I expected, and then I just walk away. So I see, okay, there is a shift in his eye. Oh, okay, what happened here? Why isn't she saying anything next? I think that is one thing. And not only with Aditya, I think it has extended to all the areas of my life. So some days still when I don't feel physically also that well, earlier it used to be like, why am I not able to do, or I am not able to do this? So I used to feel a little bit less about myself on those days, that I'm not able to do this. But nowadays I'm willing to say that, okay, today this is how I am today, and I will do whatever best I can, but I will not compare it to my yesterday, how I performed, or to the day that I did better than this. I will not compare with that. I will just do what is possible for me today. How it is possible, I will see to it. Like that I approach it. So I think I feel better within myself. Like I feel I have given importance to myself also, I have respected myself, rather, I would say that. My body or whatever it is feeling, I am addressing it. Earlier it used to be like, even if physically I am feeling that no, this is not possible, I should not do this, I am straining myself, I will still go ahead and do, because I used to believe that okay, that is my or that is a perfection of a mother should do this kind of things I used to have. Or if I'm a wife, I have to do this X, Y, and Z should be my job, and I should do it perfectly. All these things were there. So now it's not like that. Okay, today I'm not feeling okay. I will do what I feel is the best I can do today. That thing has come in, I think, and it's very nice, because then those days when I'm not feeling physically that well, but I'm mentally still very well. So those are the days I give a lot of time to the spiritual readings and all. So I don't think there is necessarily anything to feel less. Maybe one area is going less and one area is lifting up. So that thing has come now. Earlier I would try to squeeze so many things in one day, thinking that, my God, I have to, like, this is the boundary that I have set for myself, the target, and it used to be so difficult. And then you find other people to blame, right? After setting up the goal, you will think, oh my God, this person did this, that's why I couldn't do that. or something like that. So that has gone now. That has gone.
Excellent.
And learn to accept myself more is something, rather than comparing yourself to some illusionary image that you have created of yourself, of how you should be, or how what kind of conditionings you have, and depending on that, it's not a compare with that, it's a compare with, okay, how I am today, what I can do. And at the end of the day, then I sit and just now, earlier I used to even evaluate that. At the end of the day, I will sit, I will write a diary, so I will evaluate what I had to do today, how many tasks I did, I accomplished all this. Now it is not all that. I just sit and I just write a few lines of gratitude, like I'm grateful that if somebody is disturbing me constantly, I write to them every day, make sure whether they are there in the picture or not, I write, okay, I'm very grateful that I did not get disturbed by you today. Like that I write. So I think that that's changed a lot of things. I also thank a lot of, if especially physically, if I'm very well, I thank that particular part of my body every day. I thank my hands, I thank my legs and all that. So I feel very good after, especially thanking my physical body. I feel very good, because all that I went through physically, I feel that somewhere I did not respect the physical limitations of that body. I pushed and pushed and pushed, and that's why it reacted the way it did. And now I'm very, very grateful for even one finger, because I've experienced all that. How to move a finger, I would think at one point. And like you said, when we talk in this bigger dynamics, you don't think about how many things are happening to move a single finger. But when you're not able to move it, then you suddenly start thinking, oh my God, how did I even move it before this? That's the thought that comes to you. And then you really realize, like, what magic was that one finger moving, which we took for granted. So
Excellent, excellent, Padmaji.
yeah.
As you were speaking, no, because right now I can see only your name. It's showing Padma and Karthik. So it is it's the play of the awareness and the energy. Okay, so energy manifests, and awareness is part of that in that sense, because energy is also from the awareness only. It couldn't be somewhere else. It is part of that, integral part of that. And it is that particular thought that gives us direction to the energy. Otherwise, energy has no particular direction.
Correct.
Energy is not seeking a direction. Energy is like water. It can fill any glass. It can fill any glass and become anything initially. Yeah. And it is that particular thought that manifests. So therefore, every thought manifests. And the one who is having a narrower view, conditioned view also, their thought also manifests. But because there is a narrow view, there is a cause, effect, pain, loss, gain, and all those other additional accounting comes into picture. So therefore, it causes further misery.
Correct.
Whereas at an overall level, what was lost, what was gained, but still okay to give a direction to a thought, as long as it is of benefit. Because even to the universal mind, even to a jnani, many thoughts, depending upon the conditioning in the mind, earlier conditioning, vasanas, impressions, many thoughts may come. But out of those many thoughts, there is a particular choice of, okay, may this happen. So there is a very clear thinking that, even Prabhuji or Vinayji or any master also exhibits. It's not that, every thought is, given a direction. So it is clarity that, manifestation is through bringing focus to a particular thought. So now there is very clear conscious choice making. But there is no effort involved in manifesting it. So there's a very clear conscious direction given, but there is no effort in making that happen. That is effortless. Not sure if it is making sense.
Yeah, yes, sir. Actually, I have experienced this of late. Something like you said, something where you are not putting your effort, right? It is like the flow of the water. You also flow with it. There is no turmoil within you. There is no that emotional imbalances and all are not there. You are just how do you say? You just know that yeah, it's happening. That's all. There is no such thing as, oh, good is happening, oh, bad is happening. That feeling is also not coming. I have been experiencing this, although it's not always continuous, but I have experienced this. And once when I was experiencing it, I was in that moment. So I felt, wow, this is good. This is good. There is no feeling. Wow. I thought that to myself. And then I said, and then immediately when I became aware of it, I was like, oh, wow, this is what I should be looking to get all the time. So I have definitely experienced that, because some situations have come again in life, but the way I will not say the way I'm even reacting, I will say I'm just observing like what has changed this time. So that itself is a very big a miracle to me, that because to be somewhere and to be very isolated from that itself is a miracle, I feel, because all the time you are always engrossed in it, and then most of the time you don't even know what you said, why you said these things. Those kind of experiences were there earlier, but now it's not like that. It's you are very careful about what you speak or what you say to someone. Even if it is something very harsh to say or very honest, I think you choose your words very carefully, because you are mindful of how it could affect them, because it has done so to you in the past, and maybe you have changed, but maybe they have not changed. So what you have changed is important, how you have changed is important. So I think I will definitely choose my words carefully now. I think I'm seeing it in my behavior with everyone. And I think some of the close ones have been observing it as well, I think. Yeah.
When you say I will choose this,
Yeah,
I
I
still
know.
see the I coming up.
Coming in every talk, Sarodaji will bring that in somewhere. Yeah, but that's also one question, if you become like that, how do you talk even? Because I was observing in Guruji's talks, he almost never uses the word I. He never uses. So that day it was just a conscious observing of one of his videos, just to see if he uses the word I. And I thought, oh my God, how magical is that in this whole talk, he didn't use I even once. So it is really this thing.
You need to distinguish, Padmaji. See, when you are talking about, say, for example, this is what Krishna said. There is no sense of I-ness there. Okay. Krishna is saying all the living entities are part of him. And it is only the conditioning in the mind that makes anyone feel they're separate.
Correct.
So when you are expressing that, there is no I which needs to be injected, saying that I understand. Okay. This is what Krishna is saying. It's simply said like that. However, when you're dealing with life situations, See, when you're talking about, say, between you and your husband, between you and your son, you are being seen by your husband as my wife.
Yeah. So the expectations or the actions that you have to perform should be how a wife would perform.
Huh. So therefore, as a matter of expression, so if you ask Guruji, Guruji, where did you upload the video? He would say, I uploaded it to YouTube. So, so now, you can find a fault with that statement and say, Guruji, how can you say you did it?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, I understood, sir. That's what the world to function, you need that I, you, everything. Otherwise, how you will interact? Interaction is not possible. Maybe that's why some people after realization they did not interact with the world at all.
So therefore,
I didn't mean that from that point of view. I meant the following words. Like, I will choose my words carefully. Then the ego has to be sitting there and telling, like, I am choosing the words carefully.
No. What I mean by that is, according to that situation, you will choose the words. Because earlier, the thing what I was trying to convey is, you might be saying hurtful things because you are thinking something is being done to you on a personal level. So you associate that whatever they said to how you are feeling, and then you want to react to that, right? I mean, how can you say such a thing to me? Now I will give back to you equally or better than what you gave me. Something like that would have been there before. That I am saying that now, even if they are saying very hurtful things to me, I don't have to necessarily give it back, because now it is just you who is feeling that way, but I am not going to accept it and think that it is being said to me personally.
Yeah, the jnana is the other person is ignorant.
So when
the ignorant mind is,
I don't have to react like that, is what I'm saying. I can choose my words better. I don't have to say same hurtful things back to them. I can be a little bit more understanding, or even not say anything.
So even this, I don't know if I don't remember where I saw or heard, where Guruji saying everything that appears in you, a person or thing, he says it's due to runanubandha. It's right. You have taken something and like that, and like that in that person comes in your life, so that that person can take it back, and until you settle the score, that person will be there, and once things are settled, that person will disappear from your view.
I have experienced.
So I find that making a lot more sense.
Yeah, so I completely agree with that, because I've experienced it in my life. And I can't, if I go and think back, I cannot even put a finger to at what point did this happen. Why did they disappear suddenly? You don't know. You have no clue. But it just happened like that.
Score has been settled, and
contact with you. They don't have any contact with you. Whereas some people, even though they are miles away, and you think they are there, you are well wishers, they'll at least connect with you over some form, a phone or a message or something like that. But there are people who have come into your life who at that point were very, very important, and you are dealing with them, but then suddenly they just disappear. You don't even know where they are now or what they're doing. I think it has happened with me. So I completely agree to that. I think even within the family, it is like that.
Yeah.
Earlier
Even was like husband, wife, he said the same. Like, yeah.
So now, I feel even within the family, the son or husband or.
So therefore, fundamentally, what is changing? Fundamentally, what is changing at the bottom of this is my worldview is changing.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
So
is
does that mean you are also changing, no, sir? I mean,
you
the
as in your intellect, which you see fundamentally what is operating in the world. When you say you are deciding something, how do you decide?
yeah,
You
intellect.
always decide based on your intellect and your memory.
Yeah, correct.
When the right jnana comes in, your way of analyzing the same situation, your way of responding to the same situation is modifying. When I use the word yours, whatever that entity that is appearing there as a mother, as a husband, as a wife, as a sister, whatever, in each one of those roles, earlier it was a I as a this solid entity mindset. Now this is not a solid entity anymore, but still you are acting in the world. So how the action is being performed? Through the intellect and through the memory only. And in the now in the chitta, a lot of negative impressions are removed. And now right jnana has started seeping in. So therefore now the intellect only takes a decision. When you choose, when you hear the marks being said by your son, and when you choose not to react, just to listen, that's also a choice your intellect has made at that point in time, to be silent. And how did that silence occur? How did that the intellect decide? Otherwise, the same intellect used to jump up and down, make you decide to jump up and down, to show anger, or to show irritation. So, which means that the jnana and usage of the jnana is happening consciously at that point in time. So, therefore, you can either act consciously or act unconsciously. Acting consciously means you are aware of the whole mechanism, the outcome of it. So, and whenever you're acting, whenever you're deciding, you're always acting, you're always deciding based on a certain role. You always act as a mother, act as a wife, as a sister, as a. Whenever you're acting as a something. And earlier, that as a was a very solid, immovable entity. Now that as a, you've realized through the jnana is something that appears and disappears. So therefore, in that given moment, whatever is needed for that action, for that role, you are able to manifest it and choose it and let go. You're not holding on to that memory. I decided like that, so therefore, this is what I'm expecting. In that moment, when the choice is made, when all the debts are paid, you go to a store, he says 100 rupee, you pay 100 rupee, you take, it is now yours. You have no fear, you have no hesitation, no other thought, oh, I stole it, oh, I have to give him back 10 rupee. All that transaction will remain back. Whereas I gave and it is over, that's all. So in that sense, every moment is a complete and done action. When there is no association to the outcome. But in that moment, the action itself is the completeness. That involvement is the completeness. But there is no expectation of that. But that involvement, that action, that whatever the choice that was made was with a particular outcome in the mind. But there is no attachment to the outcome. You went to the store, you gave 100 rupee, you got the item, done. You gave 100 rupee and he gave in the bill, come back after 10 days, I will give you 10 rupee. When will I go? When is the 10 days? When is the 10 days? When is the 10 days? There is a now expectation built. So lack of expectation. But there is clear movement, clear clarity in action. There is no lack of clarity. Should I act or not act? Should I decide or not decide? There is no such ambiguity. In this moment, what is the right action? That is brought out. Shubhaji, is there anything that you would like to add?
No, sir. The three words that keep me moving is, I'm not the doer, I'm not the enjoyer, and lastly, what has to happen will happen.
Yeah. But in that happening, you have a conscious choice to also be made.
Yeah.
It is not as if everything is predestined. In this very moment, the choice of we being here and discussing is a conscious choice.
At least what I meant is these three things keep me moving.
Yes. Excellent. Shall we
Even
stop
this,
today? Yeah, Sarvanji.
Even, but that what is supposed to happen will happen. It's though it, can I say, like, it looks like a conscious choice, but like, again, the conscious choice, when you say, like, it's not that the ego can claim that, like, I decided to join and learn and this. It is still, the way I see it is like, the drama, it's a continuous drama that's going on, and I am on one side, I cannot claim that, like, I am consciously doing, or like I'm consciously deciding, or like or making it happen. But other side, like, yeah, there can be indirect that wish somewhere that would have
Look at
that
it
would have
this way,
led to this.
Saravanan. At this point of time, the choice of the whatever you are doing is a very conscious choice, in the sense that with whatever the limited knowledge, with whatever the clarity, this seems like the right choice. Okay. Now, for a bird sitting, and for the moment the bird is a enlightened bird, this whole interaction may seem like useless. So to you and me, it's a conscious choice, and this is the right choice. So with whatever the knowledge we have got at this point of time, the intellect makes a decision, because it's a manifestation of the intellect that you see as your life situation. You're sitting here, you're turning on the computer, you're interacting on the Zoom. It's a now you're not doing it in a sleepy situation. You're very aware and awake. And
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, I don't want to claim that, like, I made that right choice, I did it. It is still, I just want to say that, like, it's happening as part of the things are going on as part of the way Prakriti manages it. Like how a river flows.
But what is your role in that? What is your role in that?
So role, I can be, I am observer of what is happening, and I am observing that, what, some conditions led this body to attend this session, join this group, and learn these things, and I'm just observing what is going on.
Fair enough. But then let's say right now a question is being asked. You have to respond to that.
I think
How do you
I
respond to
feel
that?
like the questioner will get the answer that deserving answer.
Yeah. So the question you're answering, right? And when
That's what I'm not. I'm not going to have a conscious answer. Rather, I feel like the questioner gets an answer as he or she was supposed to get.
fair enough. However, for the questioner, there is a Saravanan who's answering. And
Yeah.
Saravanan, when I ask a question, now, if I ask Saravananji, what is the time now? Saravananji will look at the clock and say it is whatever, right? Now, Saravananji, to the question, what is the time now, will not say blah, blah, blah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm even that I'm not claiming that like I am telling the right answer. I feel like the answer, the deserving answer, the questioner got the deserving answer or gets the deserving answer through me.
Perfect. However, for me, there is a question, and I ask the question because there is an intent to get some clarity about the question.
And you say that like I answered it, I told you.
So for me, Saravananji told the answer. Okay. So when I examine the mechanism, correct. What made Saravananji give this answer only? Oh, it is the conditioning in his mind. And what is conditioning? Is nothing but prakrti. Who is really Saravanan? Saravananji is nothing but light. And light is reflecting through this instrument, and whatever the content of the instrument is getting reflected. So it's not a judgment on the light. It is a quality of the instrument that is getting reflected. So light enables either a conscious, intellect operation or an unconscious intellect operation, because light is light. Light has enabled the intellect to operate with the whatever the clarity that it has. Everyone acts consciously only. Everybody, jnani or ajnani also, both act consciously only. But what is consciousness? Depending upon the content. So depending upon the content, the ajnani has not yet completely examined the content and thinks that he is also acting consciously only. At that point of time, he is also acting consciously. I know what thought came. I got a thought of anger. So I responded. He slapped me. I gave him 2 slaps. It's a very conscious act. It's I wanted to slap back. Okay, so Jnani also looks at it and looks at what is the nature of that particular action coming from the other side, and should I choose to pardon? Should I also choose to hit? It's a conscious in that sense. So both of them are acting consciously, but the jnana which is enabling that conscious action, in one, it's a limited jnana. It's a jnana of I am a body, I am a mind, and this is what my parents have taught me. When somebody hits you, hit two back. So that's also conscious. Whereas a jnani, the jnana has expanded. That's also conscious, but at that point in time. So it's very clear conscious action, but in one, I am a limited self. With that limitedness, the consciousness is acting. In the other, there is no limitedness, but still it's a conscious.
Yeah, because the reason I'm also using this way is the moment I start using that I consciously decided I did it, then one gets into the judgment of, oh, that was not a right choice. Oh,
then the very point that I as an ego entity, when you have come to the clarity that is a non-existent phenomena, It is okay to say at this point of time, I did it, but there is no pride of association with it. See, ego has never been a problem. Ego is the most important way by which you function in the world. Ego has never been a problem. It is the pride that you associate with the ego. You give life to ego. So the jnani is perfectly okay if somebody goes and spits on the jnani's face. Depending upon who spit, the jnani may choose to respond, not react, respond. So therefore, the level of consciousness has expanded in a jnani. He's a lot more aware. But action can happen only in the present, only as a conscious being. But what are you conscious of when you're acting in the current moment? Are you even aware of the conditioning in your own mind that is prompting you to act? So, therefore, consciousness, to be conscious of what is being done now, is the only way you can act ever in life. Even when somebody says, I was unconscious, I for a moment lost my awareness. So you're conscious of you having lost the awareness. So therefore the instrument was led to do whatever it did. So you can only act consciously at any point of time. But what are you conscious of? If I am conscious of only a limited picture, then I act out of that limited consciousness.
Even with that limited consciousness, when somebody responds, I think what was supposed to happen happened.
From whose viewpoint? From whose viewpoint? So therefore, that what was supposed to happen itself is a statement being given by who? What was supposed to happen now? Who knows?
It's the truth. There's no viewpoint.
Then at this point of time, the choice you are making is what will appear in the next moment as what was supposed to happen has happened. Because in this moment, see, you put a chili seed, and when chili fruit comes, you say what was supposed to happen happened. Correct. But were you aware that you put the chili seed?
That's what I'm saying. That itself, as per the plan of prakrti, it created the thought. It created the thought.
Did the prakrti tell you to plant a chili seed?
Through the thoughts. Through the thoughts.
What are those thoughts? The thoughts are the seeds for the fruit. So who's giving power to the thought? Which thought to choose? At this point of time, I can be here, I can be going to a marathon, I can be sitting in a movie, I can be sleeping. Who gave power to that thought? So you're not a leaf in the wind. You're not a leaf in the wind. You are a integral part of the whole ecosystem. Again, the you is not a limited you. As a limited you, you will always feel, it's going to bolster my ego. How can it bolster the ego? So there is dust blowing in the wind, and suddenly the eyes close. You know how I my eyes closed. Tuck. It's an okay statement to make. Because the next moment, you're not again and again coming back and saying, my eyes are the best eyes. In that moment, my eyes operated like that. Wonderful. Because what is yours and what is not yours is from where, the conflict can come.
Yeah.
If everything is yours, there is no conflict. When this finger is hurting, this finger goes and says that, okay, it's okay. So you in one sense, you can say that, my right finger went and helped my left hand. So the I-ness, at what level it is? Is the I-ness limited, or is the I-ness all pervasive? So when you touch Prabhuji's feet, he blesses you. So now, is it that he feels he's superior to you? And when you ask a particular question, he will respond to you. You ask Prabhuji, give me the book. He will give you the book. Who gave the book? You ask. I gave you the book. But is there a sense of ownership in any of that? That is not there. But in that moment when that action was done, it's a very conscious action. It's a okay, this is what the person asked me, give him a book. I gave the book. That's very clear. It's very conscious. But is there a sense of ownership? I gave you the book. I'm so great. See, you touched my feet. I blessed you. So all that is an interpretation and analysis. But in any given moment, action is simply a conscious action. You are an active. You have an active role to play in that drama.
Okay, let me refine this thought and come back. Yeah.
All right. Anything else from Padmaji or Shubhaji?
No, sir.
Okay. Then let us end our today's contemplation.